Hello and welcome to this back to school night video. I'm Tim Rodman, your child's AP government teacher here this semester, and I appreciate you taking a moment to look at this video as we walk through what you can do to help as we start the year and begin to learn all about the American government. Please note my email address, best way to contact me, timothy.j.rodman@mcpsmd.net. I would appreciate your feedback, questions, concerns, anything you might see, or anything that would help with your child's learning in this class and in this coursework. I appreciate that. Also, notice the student support that I have before school, at lunch, and after school from 2:30 to 3. If they have questions, concerns, just aren't quite getting something, I'm happy to help with that, and I would encourage them to come and check that out. Virtual check-ins, we have second period and by appointment, and again, just reach out to me via email if you have questions or concerns. I'm happy to help address that. In terms of what they see when they come in the room, this is the screen. The cartoons obviously change from day to day, but the overview objective is up top, along with the homework out to the left in the yellow box. What homework that they have from day to day. I always start out with that so that they know what to write down in their agenda books with what they have to do for tomorrow. The green box down there is the warm-up question they're going to talk about at their tables, and then the white box has the reflection question that they will address at the end of the period. So that's kind of how we walk through bell to bell in terms of what we're doing the entire period together. Now, our job here is to learn all about the American government system, looking at government and politics in the United States, looking at political behaviors as well as why people do what they do, the structure of the national, state, and local governments. We cover state and local more after the AP exam is over in the AP Gov course, but the idea here is to get students to think for themselves about what they believe and why they believe it, to look at evidence, to use that evidence to make their arguments, and to be able to put that in writing over time as they write essays ultimately for the AP exam, but they practice those essays throughout the year. Our ultimate goal is to help them get college credit for this course. They're working very hard in the advanced placement course, a college level class, and May 2nd is that AP exam. It's in the morning on Monday, May 2nd, and we're going to get them ready for that, whether that is the review sessions that we'll do, a lot of the writing and writing sessions, and the seminars that we have along the way will help better prepare them. All of those opportunities that are available to them that we hope they'll take advantage of. In terms of the course overall, we start with the foundations of government. We look at the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation, what was wrong with it, why we ended up with the Constitution. Then we move on to look at the structure of government itself, looking at the branches of government and how they function, not just in historical aspects, but really in current times. So we look at current issues and look at current events and news stories that relate to the concepts that we're looking at in Unit 2, in all of the units, but particularly in that one. And then that takes us to civil rights and civil liberties, looking at a lot of the freedoms that have happened along the way and how those have impacted the Bill of Rights and incorporating those rights, applying them to the states. In the second semester, we look at the political beliefs and behaviors. How does this shape how people react and how people take their political beliefs and apply them to what they believe in order to take action, which is where we will close out the units looking at political participation, the idea of participating in political parties and political campaigns and other linkage institutions, reading about them through the media, joining interest groups, and all of those sorts of things. And along the way, we're skill building. We're building their writing skills in terms of analyzing political cartoons, looking at data, looking at charts, looking at evidence and being able to write about that evidence with details and examples that really underscore the concepts we're trying to get them to address. We'll look at landmark cases, why they're landmark, and then also, most importantly, in terms of the argumentative essay, how to argue a particular point of view and use evidence to argue that point of view. All of that part of the skill building process throughout these 5 units that we're trying to address there. Now, what students can do regularly, monitor my MCPS classroom. Always write down the homework when in the agenda book when we come in each day in that yellow box I mentioned, but it'll also be posted here in my MCPS APS Classroom. And it'll say homework for Friday, September 10th, which is the one that went out this afternoon. It goes out each day after school. And that's the place to look for it. Any other announcements like this back to school night link that you got on the back to school night with is posted there, as well as other resources such as videos that I produce to talk to students about concepts that may be difficult for them to understand and be able to apply them to some of the current events and current news that's happening in Washington. I do a top 12 highlights video for each chapter to basically show students what are the most important things we should have gotten out of this chapter. So again, I encourage them to use the resources. I hope you'll encourage them to do that too. And also, as always, to email me at that email address if they have questions or something that just doesn't quite make sense, they're struggling with. Email me about it. Don't just sit there in doubt. Just send the email out. So what can you do to help? Definitely encourage them to attend class regularly. Encourage them to come in and ask questions or to email me with questions. I really appreciate that. Encourage them to have a regular homework time, a time of day that they can do that. They do have homework. It is an advanced placement course, as we mentioned. So 4 days a week. They are having homework Monday through Thursday, and the idea is if they keep up with me throughout the week, Friday and the weekend should be theirs. And that's the idea moving forward. In a typical 5-day week, that's the plan. It's important to also gauge their progress, looking at parent view with grades. We have a lot of, we're wrapping up the chapters tomorrow, so we have a quiz tomorrow. The reading guides and concept cards are due, so those grades will start coming in next week. And the idea there is to ask about their progress, gauge their progress, and talk with them about it. How are you doing on the quiz? What happened? You didn't do as well as you may have thought you were going to do, or you did better than you thought. What was your key to success? So have those conversations, and have your conversations about the concepts we're addressing. I always say, I hear from parents who say, my child's actually talking to us at dinner again because we have something to talk about with the American government. We can talk about what's going on in the world, and those are exciting conversations to be able to have. So the lines of communication, very important here. And the other thing I want to mention was study partners, having a study buddy or a study group that they can bounce ideas off of. Somebody who's taking AP Gov with them maybe at WJ would be great to be able to do that and share ideas and kind of quiz each other on concepts. And examples for those concepts, how they apply to government. All of those are really beneficial. And again, keep the lines of communication open. If you're finding that something is troubling them or holding them back, email me so we can work it out together, because that really is what we're here to do, is to all work together on those issues. I also sponsor a couple of clubs I just want to plug for a quick second. The Model UN Club, if they enjoy the simulations we do in government, they would love Model UN. We go to different conferences in the area, including the Johns Hopkins University Conference, the GW Conference, WAMUNC, and the idea is that they meet each week at the lunch period on Wednesdays and meet and have simulations on different topics, and it's a great way to practice, but then also to get ready for some of these competitions. So if they're interested, there's an interest meeting next Wednesday, and we meet every Wednesday during the lunch period starting at 11:30. And the Google Classroom code is on the screen. If they want to join to be up to speed on those announcements, they can do so at that Google Classroom. The other club that I sponsor is the Youth in Government Club. We actually hold a lobbying day where we go up to Capitol Hill. We met with Congressman Trone, Congressman Raskin. Students got a chance to talk to legislative aides in small groups about the issues they care about. So we spent about a month developing talking points and practicing arguments with each other in terms of talking to legislative aides about the issues that they care about. So they got a chance to take that civic action we talk about in AP Gov class and apply it in the real world, and to do it on behalf of issues that are really important to them. The year ends in a culminating activity where I actually attend a Maryland Youth in Government Conference, a legislative conference in the Maryland, in the General Assembly in Annapolis. So they take over the State House for a weekend, and they debate bills that they have written, and they go through a mock youth Congress or a youth legislature to see if they can get their bills out of committee onto the House or Senate floor and then ultimately to the youth governor for hopefully for a signature. So it's a lot of fun. They meet a lot of people. There's a lot of other activities that they do outside of the chambers to really develop friendships that last a lifetime. And students that I have had have really talked very highly. I've sponsored this one for a really long time, and students really love the connections that they've been able to make across the state with other students, and those lifelong friendships that they have. So I would encourage you to join the Google Classroom, or get them to join the Google Classroom. Code is on the screen there, and they meet on Mondays at lunch. So I would encourage them to come out and check it out. It's a lot of fun. Again, here's my contact information. If you have any questions, concerns, again, email me. That's the best way to reach me, timothy.j.rodman@mcpsmd.net. I'm looking forward to a really awesome year. We're back in school. We're really excited, back in the classroom, and we were really off to a great start, and we hope that they will come home and talk about that as well. And again, any questions, concerns, please reach out, and we hope you have a great night. Thanks again for joining us on this webcast.